What up, Net fans? NetsBoy here, bring your latest in your Brooklyn Nets news. Wow. Just wow. That's all I have to say so far. It's currently May 3rd, and we are right at the climax of the first round of the playoffs, and how crazy has these playoffs been? Seriously, how crazy? All right, let's do a recap of what happened last time. The Nets screwed things up a bit. They lost after they went up 2-1. They lost Game 5, which was a disappointment. They just played like complete crap in Game 5. Excuse me, Game 4. They lost Game 4. Played like complete crap. That was an inexcusable loss. You know what I mean? You cannot lose on your home court like that, the way the Nets did, but they did. And I remember I was panicking. I didn't have a NetsBoy video, but I was just like, what? You gotta be kidding me. I was yelling at the TV. I thought the series was over. Because Game 5 was more what I expected from the Nets. They really struggled, but against Toronto was just on its A game. The Nets couldn't get anything going. They were down by 26 points, but then they went on a nice long run, came back into the game, and everything went the Nets' way, except at the end until Andre Blatch decided to get the ball and throw it 25 feet over Darren Williams' head, and they lost. And I said, you know what? I thought this was over because the Raptors just played tough, and I couldn't believe it. When the Nets lost Game 4, I said this is going to be dangerous. And when they lost Game 5, I said I don't know what I'm going to expect from this. And now, Game 6, Nets came out there and played like there's no tomorrow. And finally, there was the first game of the series in which really you saw a total complete package from the Nets. Everything really clicks for the Nets. Darren Williams, Joe Johnson, Paul Pierce, Garnett's defense. Blatch played well. Marcus Thornton wasn't useless. Everything just kind of clicked into place for the Nets in Game 6. And now they got a Game 7 Sunday, tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon. I'm not even sure when the game is. I got to look that up. Just excitement all around. And I honestly don't know what's going to happen. I don't. Every time I think the Nets look like they're going to play well and look good, the Raptors shock you and they do something great. And then I gave up. I didn't give up on the Nets, but I was preparing myself for one of the most upsetting videos ever today. Instead, the Nets come out there, they play great, and they win. So I really don't know what to expect. And it's hard to say who's the favorite in this. Logically, you want to go with the home team, the Raptors, because they're home and they're at the youth and everything. But the Nets have the veteran leadership, and let's be honest, the Nets are the better team. Let's be honest. I know Toronto fans are saying, oh, come on, but I said this last time. The Raptors are really just Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, and then occasionally they get contribution from other players, like a Terrence Ross, who has been terrible in the series. A Valanciunas guy, or Valencia. What's his name? Valanciunas or Valanciunas? I hear him pronounced every way possible. I don't know. Just big goofy white guy. We'll call him that. The big goofy white guy helps out a lot. Sometimes they get plays from, Patterson off the bench. John Salmon's off the bench. You know what I mean? But really, it's just DeRozan and Lowry. If you can contain one of those two guys, you're in good shape. The problem is they're both so explosive. It's been hard for the Nets. So that's why the Nets have the more talent. Raptors have more athleticism. That's the thing. The Raptors are much more athletic, quicker, younger legs. But the Nets have the veteran leadership and more talent. That's why the Nets should win. And I really would, other than the fact that I'm rooting for him, I would still pick the Nets here in Game 7 because of the experience. But anything is possible. I will say this. If the Nets do lose, well, two things. If the Nets do lose, I would be very upset. But watching how the Raptors played this series, I wouldn't be as crushed as I originally was going into the series, thinking if what happens if the Nets lost. Nets should still not lose. They should not lose in the first round. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Like I said, I'm still going to try to I'm still going to go out there and say that they're not the favorites, but I would expect them to win Game 7. Just because they've been there. They got the veterans who have done it before. They've been in the situation, and I can guarantee you right now, Darren Williams, who played phenomenal in Game 6, despite rolling his ankle, is not going to be a little piece of crap like he sometimes is in this Game 7. He is too angry. Him and Joe Johnson both are too angry from last year's Game 7 against the Bulls. Well, let me tell you right now, Darren Williams, Joe Johnson, this is your chance to redeem yourself. You all both said you were very disappointed at how things ended last season. You both felt you could have done so much more, especially Joe Johnson, because he had that injury. Prove it. This is when you prove it. You prove it Sunday. In a hostile environment in Toronto, with those crazy Canadians. I was going to say something else, but I decided to censor myself. Those crazy Canadians, and come out there and prove a win, that would be a statement game. It's a statement game. No matter what, it's going to be a statement game for either team. If the Nets win, it's a statement game saying, we are here, we are the better team, we're the veterans that we want to be, and we're going to prove that we deserve to be in the playoffs and have all this hype. And the Raptors, it's just... God! There we go. And the Raptors is a statement game because if they win, they say, we're a legit team, we're a legit contender, and we can come out there and beat anybody. So it's a statement game for both teams. The keys to this game, watching this whole series, it's really simple. I think it's really simple. Whoever backcourt plays better wins. If Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan play better than Darren Williams and Joe Johnson, the Raptors win. If Joe Johnson and Darren Williams play better than Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, the Nets win. And that's really the way this series has gone. And that's the truth of it, because the rest of the players are all good. They all contribute, but especially the Nets. The Nets are only as good as Darren Williams. I've said it from the beginning of NetsBoy that the key to this team's success is Darren Williams. When he plays well, the team plays well. When he plays poorly, the team plays poorly. It's the same thing. And it's the same thing with the Raptors with Kyle Lowry. DeMar DeRozan can be great and go off scoring, but unless Lowry's playing well, the Raptors aren't going to play well, and vice versa. It's just the way it is. They're actually quite similar teams when it comes to that aspect, that their significant offense really comes from their great play of their point guards. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think that the experience and the talent's going to overplay the youth and the home court advantage, but who knows? Who knows? And I'm going to be straight up honest. I haven't even decided if I'm going to do a NetsBoy episode beyond if or when the Nets get eliminated. Obviously, whatever happens, if the Nets win or lose, there will be another NetsBoy episode after Game 7. But then after that, I haven't even decided I'm going to continue doing the videos for the playoffs. I'm thinking I will. Just may not be every week. It might be after every playoff series. Only because of the fact that I still am I still love basketball and I'm still an analyst, and I feel like whether the Nets win or lose, that I'll probably still continue the videos throughout the postseason till the end. Just because it's fun. I like these videos. I really do. I love doing this. It's fun to hear myself talk because I'm that egotistical, and it's fun for me. So I'll probably continue it. But who knows what's going to happen? Hopefully the Nets will win Game 7 and I'll be able to go on and start talking about the Nets Heat series, which I think a lot of people like to see that. So we'll see what happens. And like I said, it's all about the guards play for both teams. Let's look real quickly at some of the other things that are going on. There's so many Game 7s. It's amazing. It's just like, NHL playoffs were pretty intense too. They had like 3 or 4 Game 7s too, or something like that. But, the only people who care about that are the Toronto Raptors fans because they're Canadians, right? So who cares about hockey? But that's beside the point. The NHL playoffs have been pretty good too, but I don't watch that, so I don't care. Because the Devils aren't in it. Devils didn't make the playoffs, so who cares? Screw Rangers. Anyway, let's look here. The only series that was like a joke was the Bobcats versus the Heat. Heat swept them. That doesn't shock anybody. Though the Bobcats did put up a good fight in 2 of the 4 games, but whatever. Biggest shock, in my opinion, it's my personal biggest shock, and that's Washington over Chicago in 5. What is going on? I thought Chicago was one of the best teams in the East. They lose to the Wizards? Shocked me. But that to me is a shocker. And then, of course, Indiana, Atlanta, Game 7. Another going to be a Game 7. I think Indiana's going to win that series now. Going back home to Indiana, it's over. The Hawks put up a good fight. It's over. Pacers are going to win. I already predicted the Nets to win Game 7, so I'm going to say that again. So I'm predicting that. And then you go to the West, and what a crazy West it's been. Only one series has been decided, and that happened Well, yesterday, Damian Lillard with a clutch three-point shot at the buzzer to beat D12's overrated Rockets, and I'm ecstatic about that. I picked Houston in that series. Yeah, I remember I picked the Bulls in the series with Washington. I was wrong there. So far, I've only been right one out of the 3-game series that have been complete, but whatever. But I'm glad. I love the Trailblazers. I always have. LaMarcus Aldridge has always been one of my favorite players. I think Damian Lillard is a superstar in the making. I love the Trailblazers. I'm so glad they beat Dwight Howard and the overrated Rockets. You know, and I love that. You know, Golden State, Los Angeles going to Game 7. I ain't even going to say anything about Donald Sterling. There's nothing to say about that has not already been said. Like, what an idiot. Like, what a terrible idiot. For so many reasons. But that's beside the point. That's all I'm going to say. It's just... what an idiot. He's an idiot. Everything about him is an idiot. Anyway, okay. So, I still think that Los Angeles is going to win that. I think that's been a great series. Memphis, OKC, I think it's done. I know it's going to Game 7, but with the suspension to Zach Randolph, the Grizzlies aren't going to win that game. So I think OKC's going to win that one. And now here's the game that you know what? Yeah, Dallas, let's go. I would have never predicted this. And now I never predicted this. You think I'm going to go a NetsBoy video being a Vince Carter fan and not mention about Vince Carter's amazing Game 3 buzzer beater? Vintage VC with the pump fake, getting the guy jumping and shooting the big clutch 3. Classic. I watched that. I'm like, that's right. You didn't think I was going to not say anything, did you? I mean, I'm just saving it for the end because it was awesome. And look, I can give you a good analysis of the Mavericks, too, because I've been watching their playoff games just like the Nets games because I really like them a lot. And let me say something. Carlisle's got to play Carter in the starting lineup. I know he's their sixth man, but Sean Marion is useless. He is useless. Carter, they play better defense with Carter in. It's just the way it is. And I think Devin Harris should start too. They got Jose Calderon starting there, and he's good, but he can just shoot threes, Calderon. He can shoot and, he can score, but he doesn't do much on the defensive end. I think Devin Harris should start. I think Carter should start. I think it should be Devin Harris, Monte Ellis, Vince Carter, Dirk, and Samuel Dallenberg. Samuel Dallenberg is another player I am very much so like, because he is a Seton Hall alum. So that's another reason. But I think that should be the starting lineup. And that should definitely be the lineup that's in at the end of the games. But Carlisle does some weird things. But I'm just shocked that that's gone to 7 games. I'm pulling for Dallas. I don't believe they're going to be able to beat San Antonio at San Antonio. I really don't. But I'm rooting. Maybe Vince Carter needs to take over more. Because I'm noticing that Vince Carter, when he takes over, which he does every once in a while, because he had 28 points in Game 5, even though they lost, sometimes he needs to do it. And he needs to get a little bit more aggressive. He needs to stop being such a good, nice guy. He's got to be like, hey, listen, I'm the third best player on this team. I'm the third best. And on some nights, I'm the best. I should start playing like it. I should start acting like it. Come on, Vince. You hit that game-winning 3 in Game 3. To think about that, right? Come on. But that's it. I'm rooting for Dallas. Don't know if they're going to do it. I think San Antonio is going to win. And then that's the way these playoff series have gone. It's just been really unpredictable. I mean, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Game 7. 5 Game 7s. That's ridiculous. Super exciting. Super awesome. Hopefully, the Nets will prevail. I'm hoping so. Either way, whether the Nets win or lose, you will see another NetsBoy episode after Game 7. Maybe not right after Game 7, maybe the next day, because there'll be some time behind, but it'd be really cool if I hope the Nets and the Mavericks both advance. I'll be ecstatic, but we'll see what happens. And that's all to it. And that is today's NetsBoy. So exciting. I'm so excited. So excited. This is amazing. I'm like Jimmy Fallon. It's so cool. So cool. Like, you're so cool. So amazing. Anyway, this is NetsBoy. Signing off.